Konnichiwa minasan, I'm Matayu, and this is Manga You May Have Missed. We're back to the status quo with a shonen manga from the ladies of Clamp. This is Angelic Layer. Angelic Layer is, as mentioned, a Clamp manga originally serialized by Kadokawa Shoten in Shonen Ace from July 1999 to October 2001. It was published in 5 volumes that were later released in North America, initially by Tokyopop in 2002, but was later re-released in 2 omnibus volumes by, of all companies, Dark Horse Comics. A 26-episode anime adaptation directed by Hiroshi Nishikiyori and animated by Studio Bones aired from April to September 2001. It was licensed by ADV and released as 7 individual volumes in 2003, then re-released as a 5-volume box set in 2005. Angelic Layer begins with an egg that's filled with dreams. Angelic Layer's battles do not have individual titles, as evidenced by the title page. As the world progresses day by day, electronic technology jumps forwards in leaps and bounds, and so do the toys that use that technology. Especially in this world. One of this world's toys is an egg of dreams, an angel egg. Each egg has an angel that must be raised to be intelligent, loving, and brave. This is Angelic Layer, and this is the story of a girl who found herself brought into the realm of angels. 6th grader Misaki Suzuhara is currently lost in a train station. She had wanted to make her way to her aunt's house by herself, but is currently regretting that decision. She has no sense of direction, and is completely lost in this new city, and hey look, she's got a short attention span. What drew her eye was a giant screen emblazoned with Angelic Layer. It features a white doll that Misaki thinks is so pretty. She's then confused as the white doll runs up to an armored black doll and starts kicking it. The two are, in fact, fighting each other. She asks a nearby grade schooler what's going on, and the kid says that it's Angelic Layer like it's supposed to mean something, which to Misaki, and ostensibly to you, dear viewer, it doesn't. She asks why the two are fighting. Shouldn't they be getting hurt? The kid reacts like she's an idiot, as kids do, and reiterates that it's Angelic Layer. Misaki redirects her attention to the screen and sees that the black doll has the advantage in height and power over the white one, and is therefore going to win. It's sad, she thinks. The little guy always loses. It's not as hopeless as she thinks, though, as the white doll dodges the black doll's every swipe. It delivers another kick to the black doll's head, but the black doll grabs the white doll's ankle and slams it to the ground. Misaki yells for the white doll to dodge. The black doll brings a spiked knee down on it. The white doll dodges in time and catches the black doll's head in between its ankles. With Misaki looking on, the white doll tosses the black doll to the ground and charges a Kamehameha-style energy blast. There's a massive explosion as the energy ball makes contact. Misaki cheers and asks the grade schooler to repeat the name of the sport, which I think we know pretty well by now. She's still ecstatic over the David and Goliath scenario as someone calls to her from off-panel. The speaker, a creepy scientist, says that the dolls are called angels. When the dais moves, the angels follow. Misaki does not follow. The dolls, or rather the angels, are the high-tech toys that don't die. Misaki asks if they are purchasable. The man says they are and points out a store. The crowd behind him starts saying what we're all thinking. Misaki dashes into the Piffle Princess store and demands dolls. The salesperson tries to ask for more information and gets the modifier moving dolls. The man in the coat appears out of nowhere to the shock of the salesperson and says that there are many moving dolls and not to trouble the lady. He grabs Misaki and pulls her over to the Angelic Layer aisle. We're shown the same egg of hopes and dreams from the beginning and are told that the figure inside it is an angel. Once the egg is opened, you model and make the doll yourself. The angels Misaki just saw on TV were made out of the same kind of egg. When you make it, it becomes your very own. The man asks for Misaki's name and grade and makes a cryptic comment. He says he can teach her lots of things. About Angelic Layer, that is. Just so long as no one finds out that it was him. Misaki is very excited and also very trusting. The man piles a bunch of merchandise into Misaki's arms, which he claims is all necessary. Misaki finally thinks to ask the man his name, and he gives the surname Mihara before deciding to have her call him Ichan. He then sends her to pay for the pile of products. At that point, the police arrive and arrest Ichan for following an oblivious to a situation little girl around. We see him getting carried away as Misaki pays for the equipment. She turns to look for him, but we know he's gone. She's disappointed as she thinks he has more to tell her, but then realizes that she hasn't even arrived at her aunt's house yet. She then realizes that having spent all her money on toys, she has no money for the train fare to her aunt's house. She pleads with Ichan's ghost for some money. That night, Misaki's aunt says she was surprised to get a call from the police. As she had no money for fare, Misaki apparently decided to walk to her aunt's house and was picked up. Her aunt is unsurprised to learn that the first thing Misaki did in Tokyo was go shopping. She asks what Misaki bought, and she shows her the angel egg and tells her about the concept of Angelic Layer. She explains that it had such an effect on her, she ended up spending all her money on it. Her aunt is silent for a minute, prompting Misaki to question her. Her aunt objects to the term auntie, preferring Shoko-san. She is Misaki's mother's younger sister, and therefore not old enough to be called auntie. Misaki assents to this, and Shoko comments that Angelic Layer is the current fad. It's been on TV, and even her parents know about it. She mentions that she should probably make the effort to learn about it too. We then get an exposition dump in which we learn that Misaki has been living with her grandparents, her mother moved to work in Tokyo after her father died, and she hasn't seen her mother Shuko since kindergarten. She's been sending money back though, and Misaki is using it to go to school in Tokyo. Shoko says that Misaki is welcome in her house, and that she has no problems with her living there while she goes to school. She sends her to take a bath, and Misaki brings the angel egg with her. Shoko asks if she intends to play with it in the tub, but Misaki says that the instructions say to open it in the bathroom. As she walks off, Shoko muses that it's in her blood. In the bathtub, Misaki wonders if she can make an angel as cool as the one she saw. She decides to get started and do her best. The instructions are printed on plastic, so it doesn't get ruined when wet. She reads that there is a shock-absorbing fluid inside the egg, which is why you open it in the bathroom. You're supposed to have parental supervision while opening the lid, as the shock-absorbing fluid is inedible, but Misaki reckons that her height is not germane to the directive and opens the egg. She thinks, and I agree, that the doll is kind of creepy. As per the instructions, she washes the fluid off of the doll, and then remembers that she's supposed to be washing herself as well. She then enters her room for the first time and remarks on how neat it looks. Her short attention span rears its comedic head again, and she claims her bed before remembering the newly hatched angel. She likes to start with the hair and decides that it should be short, like hers. In defiance of the instructions, she decides to use the scissors by herself and is satisfied with the results, if not entirely overjoyed with it. She then turns to the pile of stuff Ichan made her buy. One of them is a mini computer and a hovering holding chamber. She puts the angel inside the chamber and is presented with a menu of parameters for her angel. She is confident that small is better than big and inputs the proper values. She's basing it on the heroine of a manga she read recently. Small but energetic, confident, and willing to risk her life. The angel exits the tube and now has a complete face and a slightly different build. When prompted, Misaki decides to give the angel the same name as the protagonist of the manga, Hikaru. After the input, the new angel opens its eyes. The end. Kido Senshi Angelic or Angelic Layer Battle Doll, has some slight differences from the manga it's based off of. The basic story is the same though, and I think that the first episode is a good reflection of that. Minor differences include Ichan beginning his creepy pursuit of Misaki in the train station rather than finding her in the crowd, and the color palette being different from Clamp's original illustrations. Shoko's design is also rather different from the manga. The fight between the black and white angels is move for move from the manga, which is pretty cool to see. There's more foundation of plot laid down in the first episode, with the introduction of Ichan's assistant, plus hints of what Ichan's actual job is, and Misaki's mother Shuko. The anime is cool to look at and fun to listen to. The dub's alright. It's certainly better than the Aisho 21 dub, will promise you that. The quality of the voice acting changes from scene to scene, but it's never bad, just varying degrees of good. When it's good, and when it's not that good, it's funny, so I say feel free to watch the dub if you're so inclined. Angelic Layer was the first of a set of Clamp manga with a different art design that focused on the character posing instead of fine details. That's why the backgrounds are comparatively sparse, and the characters aren't made out of noodles. I found Angelic Layer to be interesting and funny, and I hope you do too. See you in the lair!